These dudes are snake oil salesmen. They taking lavish trips. Young black men are laying face down as we speak in Chicago, and they worry about illegal aliens instead of stopping the crime that is going on in Chicago for decades now. Let me tell you about the sale we got. 47% off for the Donnie. So we got the Donnie dance shirt for the signature Don dance. 47% off the entire store. Store-wide, 47% off. All you got to do is put in code THANKS47. THANKS47, you get 47% off the entire store. I had to tell you guys because I told you on Wednesday we're going to drop the Black Friday sale. It's going to go all the way through Cyber Monday. Maybe we'll do something a little different on Cyber Monday. All the merch you love, all the good stuff we have here that you see, 47% off. Go and shop now before it's too late. Brandon Johnson is a disgrace in Chicago. I just don't understand how that man keep a job. Who is voting for this guy? These slick talking snake oil salesmen, you know, I wish that black men that look this prestigious were actually smart. And there's a guy behind me that's actually talking. So you'll hear him talking because he's at the press corps asking Brandon Johnson questions. I wish that I could see a black man up there and be proud of him because he's a good man. Not because I agree with him or not, because he's a good man. And he's actually trying to do something right by his being the mayor of his city. He's trying to do the right thing. But instead, these dudes are snake oil salesmen. They taking lavish trips. Young black men are laying face down as we speak in Chicago, and they worry about illegal aliens instead of stopping the crime that is going on in Chicago for decades now. The murder capital of the country by number is Chicago. By per capita is Ferguson, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri. Then it was Baltimore, Maryland, where all the black people live. So let's play a clip of Brandon Johnson getting schooled by that guy.
Chicago,
this guy, in my opinion. Roll it.
Are very alarmed that at a time when Chicago is clearly fighting for its financial survival, that you're out of state campaigning for Kamala Harris. You are defending Little Dirk. This is your priority. You and your wife Stacy have a 200+ CPD police security detail when real Chicagoans are obviously afraid and victims of violent crime. And of course, they feel that you are taxing them into financial slavery to pay for migrants. The exact amount of this tax increase that you're proposing is, I think, to the penny, what you've already given to one of the migrant vendors. The migrant vendor named Favorite Healthcare Staffing, not to mention all the other migrant vendors. Wouldn't it make more sense for your tax increase to simply be called a migrant tax on Chicagoans?
Well, if you could just do me a favor, the next time you refer to my wife, refer to her as the First Lady. I prefer that you not remain so familiar with her that way.
Right.
Okay.
The First Lady, and you have a security detail of 200
Thank
plus.
you. I've heard your question.
Hold on a second. This is a tactic from the snake oil salesman, pastor-esque Brandon Johnson. To bring up your wife and what somebody calls her as First Lady, all this stuff is superfluous. Who cares? The dude is bringing up a point about the Chicagoan people and what they're suffering through, and you want your wife to be called First Lady. It's not the time to do that. You can address this reporter afterwards, but you need to answer his questions about what the American people, or at least the Chicagoans, are concerned about. Roll it.
Just saying thank you for respecting my wife that way.
Right.
As far as the detail is concerned, there are 4 mayors. The detail operation reflects all of the mayors, past and present. The particular portion of my detail is not the size in which you've described. I believe it's less than 30 or so. That there are shifts that are ran and Like every other mayor, that detail is appropriated according to, again, what every other mayor has had. As far as what this budget is about investing in people. And what's clear in this budget is that we are investing in youth and workforce. And at a time in which, unfortunately, there has been a great deal of real mean-spirited attacks against young black and brown children.
When you say mean-spirited attacks against young black youth,
yeah, so
are
basically,
you talking about the carjackers or the armed robbers? What I mean, or are you just talking about every young black child in the city of Chicago? I'm not sure what you're referring to.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well, there's black and brown children in this city who I'm going to invest in,
and
that's who I'm
they're
referring
dying
to.
in larger. They're being shot and murdered. I'm sorry. And
thank you for your question.
Why aren't you worried about their safety?
Thank you for your question.
Have you? Are you enjoying your raise? Any chance of giving us a comment?
Mr. Kelly, please.
What?
Please.
What?
Mr. Kelly.
Well, it seems like there's a real pattern in the Johnson administration of members of his administration making outrageous comments like your "fuck the pigs" comment. Have you?
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
please give her a moment. She's not.
Give her a moment. There are police officers who are committing suicide. They're not, and we have a lot of police officers that are quitting.
Thank you for joining.
We're very understaffed.
Now, shout out to that brother. He should be a press secretary one day. I love what he said because these people need to get called out. The police department did not want Brandon Johnson at the police funeral. When police officers feel that way about you, it's because you've betrayed them. If anybody in the government system calls police officers effing pigs, that person should resign immediately. That is degrading a fellow coworker, and I think that's unacceptable. You can't disparage another person that you're working with in the public sphere unless you don't want a job. Because then what happens, it becomes tribal. And then the person that you work for is controlling the money, and they start taking money from police officers based on your comment. Then now we're in trouble. I'm sick of these people. And my wife tells me that she don't want me to run for office. But it's going to become a point in time where I'm like, I'm sick of, just like Trump and everybody else, I'm sick of these people. I'm sick of us having weak candidates to start with. I'm sick of people not standing up for Jesus Christ, number two. And I'm sick of people not being authentic and real. I'm sick of it. You got a person like Brandon Johnson out here just talking good. These black men know how to talk, boy. They know how to swindle. And I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying the ones that are scammy. Reverend Al Sharpton, for I don't know how many, dude ain't never did a sermon in his life, and somehow he still retained the title as a reverend. Reverend Jesse Jackson. You can't find a sermon nowhere. You can't find a baptism nowhere. He probably did it 100 years ago. That dude is not even associated with doing anything for the church. But they show is race hustling. And this is what they stand on. But they know how to talk you good. They know how to say things to you, make you sound, they sound professional. Oh no, that's what all the mayors get. The crux of what the man is asking is that you guys are taxing the public to deal with illegal immigration. And you have young black men who can't even read and dying in the streets through gang violence and fear and PTSD. How do you think these young men gonna go off and be successful in life when they afraid to go outside in some of these neighborhoods? And these are little kids that are afraid of getting smoked when they go outside. Not even because they're involved, because they're getting caught in the crossfire. You think you see your friend get shot in the head in front of you when you're 10 years old. You think that doesn't retain PTSD? Every day you come out of the house, you don't know whether or not you're going to come home or not, or your friend going to come home, your mama going to get killed or raped or robbed, y'all going to get robbed. You thinking of that you live with that trauma every day, and you don't think that affects you going to school? Your daddy ain't there. I mean, when are we going to start focusing on them kids? When are we going to start focusing on their needs? When are we going to start promoting that we need to put some financial structure in place that can help these fathers get back in the home, or put some mentor programs together for young people whose daddies are deadbeats? That's more important than illegals. Send them back. Get these young men out that mindset.